It's the lead play in our offense.
We ask our YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet, get an isolation with the linebacker. Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here. Try to run this play in the alley.
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access pregame show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. You can find me on Twitter at Packers_access. You can email us PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. I'm joined alongside Tim live in Green Bay. We're roughly a little more than an hour away from kickoff here as the Packers get ready to do battle with the Bears for a spot in the playoffs, right? And really excited about this one. This is what the whole season comes down to, the oldest rivalry in the game. I'm just absolutely jacked over the moon about this matchup today. I know we got the inactives in. We're going to hit on that. We got a ton of other information we're going to cover, but first things first, Tim, how you doing, buddy? How we feeling this afternoon?
Fired up, baby. Feeling great. Feeling great.
Same here, man. I've been
Been
watching the Patriots-Jets game here, what might be Bill Belichick's last game in New England. It's 6-3 in the bottom of the seventh inning. And, it is a snow globe. Looks like they got about, 2 or 3 inches of snow on the field. A little bit jealous of that, to be honest with you. Was hoping we would get that in Green Bay today, but looks like it's going to be clear skies. This background picture you're seeing was actually a shot taken by Rob Domofsky roughly an hour ago. So the skies cleared up. Looks like it's going to be a pretty day for ball, probably going to be around 31 degrees. You know it's going to chill down really quick when that shadow gets when that big fireball drops down, that shadow casts across the field. But I don't know, man. I'm eager to see how Jordan Love plays in the cold. This is kind of one of the first big tests, right? I know it's been chilly throughout the year in places he's played, but this one here is probably going to be the coldest, I would imagine, all year long that he's played in. And that's going to be huge for the Packers moving forward. You guys know Brett Favre was great when he was younger in the cold. Same thing was Aaron. Just like us all, as we get older, the blood gets a little thinner. That cold ain't as forgiving, right? So I'm eager to see if we get us a 5 to 7 year window here with Jordan Love being so young that we could maximize that home field advantage. But what do you think about that, Tim?
Yeah, man. It's time to take back 1265, guys. Enough of this. Those days are over. I'm not looking back anymore. I know a lot of people were nervous today. The vibes were a little bit of nerves going into the game. That's normal. Hey, man, we're going to protect home today. We're going to get it done. I believe in this team. I believe in Jordan. Cold weather, warm weather, in between weather. Protect the football, run the offense. We do what we need to do. We're going to handle business today. I got full confidence in QB1 for sure.
Definitely. And we got Carly Ray joining us now. Carly, how you doing?
Doing all right. I'm so excited for this game.
It's awesome.
How you guys doing?
Week 18, and we're playing for a playoff spot. You couldn't ask for anything any better, right?
That's right.
No, I mean, maybe for that to be guaranteed, then they're in, and we could just, enjoy the whooping they're going to give. But, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we've got a little bit of information, some newer information that broke here. I'm going to start with the line real quick, okay? First of all, I want to say BetUS is the official sports book of Packers Total Access Live. We appreciate them jumping on board with us. If you guys want to support the stream, you can click on the link in the description of this YouTube video, and that will send you directly to BetUS, where you can register for free as a customer. And by using that link, it lets them know that we sent you to them. Always screw that up. But I wanted to mention that early on here because – the green line, according to PFF earlier in the week, had the Packers as 3-point favorites, right? PFF had it at minus 2.2, so leaning a little bit more towards Chicago in that regard, right? Well, we checked it again earlier today. Actually, just a few minutes ago, the market's still the same. Everything's the same with PFF. But if you go over to BetUS, you can actually get, like we said yesterday, Green Bay was -3. So if you wanted to bet on the Packers, it would be -3 was the best you could get at BetUS. That has now changed to -2.5, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how the line has shifted just a touch according to BetUS. Again, That's BetUS, the official sports book of Packers Total Access, and celebrating their 30th year in business as America's favorite sports book. We appreciate them. Now, when we go to the roster here in the inactives, looks like everything is kind of dropped. I want to kind of set the stage before we hit the inactives. Yesterday, the Bears placed Lucas Patrick on IR. We all know that's their starting center. That could be absolutely huge. They called up Doug Kramer from the practice squad. Also, cornerback Greg Stroman was signed to the active roster, and cornerback Christian Matthew was promoted from practice squad. Help at cornerback with Jalen Johnson doubtful and Kyler Gordon questionable as well. You guys know we were reading the tea leaves and going, looking like Jalen Johnson might not go. He was doubtful, 25% chance he'd play. We just got the inactives that rolled in from Kevin Fishbane, still the coolest name in all the sports media. The inactives for the Bears are cornerback Jalen Johnson, the number 1 graded corner in the entire NFL, according to PFF. Wide receiver Darnell Mooney, running back Deonta Foreman. We've got cornerback Greg Stroman Jr., defensive back Quindale Johnson, and quarterback Tyson Badgett, and offensive line Jatire, I think I'm saying that right, Jatire Carter. And then you've got Nathan Peterman will be the number 2 quarterback today. Now, as far as the actives, inactives for the Packers, Christian Watson is inactive, and a surprise based on this week's comments. I don't think it's a surprise. Like, the hammy is the hammy, guys. I was talking to Tim about this offline. We've got to stop with this being disappointed when a hamstring, all of a sudden, well, I thought he was going to play. It goes all the way back to Clay Matthews, man. Hamstrings are one of those things that you don't know until the day of. So, again, Christian Watson is inactive. That one doesn't bother me that much. Really, nothing on here bothers me that much. Full inactive list is Christian Watson, A.J. Dillon, Isaiah McDuffie, Grant Dubose, Brenton Cox Jr., and Caleb Jones. I know we've seen Isaiah McDuffie's jersey in his locker. I think it was Andy A. Pack in our private chat there mentioned that someone had tweeted out a picture of that and made you think, okay, he may be going. But obviously he's inactive today as well. But let's go around the horn here real quick. Tim, what do you think about those actives, inactives when it comes to the Bears and the Packers on both sides?
I'm with you. I mean, being surprised is not something I'm feeling right now. A little dejected because I was looking forward to the opportunity for Scoop to get out there and just give that Bears defense something else to really worry about. We talked about that throughout the week, the kind of value that he brings to our lineup, whether he's a pass catcher or just simply running routes and, drawing doubles and, bracket coverage, that kind of stuff. So, not having Scoot out there, yeah, we're going to miss him. But, we are loaded in that wide receiver room. We are loaded at tight end. All hands on deck for this game. You see some of the roster moves that were made in the past few days. It makes sense that they were anticipating Watson probably not going. So certainly the Packers aren't surprised. I don't think we should be either. It is unfortunate, though. And yeah, Zay McDuffie, that would have been great to have him out there in the middle. But I fully believe in Quay and Dre. They will get it done today for us. And, this is going to be a team win like they all are. We put so much emphasis on our quarterbacks in this league. Wins and losses are team stats, guys. You win as a team. And we're going to get to see the full gamut of the Green Bay Packers today. I think you're going to see a lot of players getting touches and a lot of contributions from many different guys across the board. So the inactives list is, I don't want to dismiss it as not a big deal, but I'm with you, Clayton. I'm not overly concerned about these inactives. I think we got a good squad. Looking for the Jair comeback game today. A lot of things to be excited about as we take on the Bears.
Yeah, I'm eager to see if Jair is his old self again. I really am. But Carly, what do you think about the actives and inactives? Anything worry you? Anything you excited about there?
Well, I'm wondering for the Bears, if their center is inactive, I wonder who generally called the protection for the Bears, and if that's just going to make a big difference having an inexperienced person, or if Justin was already doing it sometimes. And I'm just really wondering what kind of impact that's going to have, because it could be huge, or it could be not that big a deal because, everyone else just knows what's going on,
Right. Yeah, I think it's a great point. And put it this way, Josh Myers has underperformed this year. I think we would all agree, right? As much as he's underperformed, if he was all of a sudden a scratch in this game and couldn't play, I would be terrified because, I think you're right, spot on there, Carly. I personally think Justin Fields is probably calling the protection. Okay. This is year 3 as a starter. he's out there calling the protection. I'm sure that won't have a factor at all. I don't think. It's more the snap, the continuity between the quarterback and the center. I think that could come into play. Not going to be surprised, man, if we look up there in the the first quarter or even the first half there and see a botch snap. And if it does happen, man, I'm going to be as excited as anyone on that. We'll take everything we could possibly get as far as trying to catch a little bit of a break. But if that snap happens, I think all the PTA will be like this.
Whoop. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
TJ Slayton.
Yeah, no doubt. We got Jacob in here now. What's up, Jacob? How you doing, buddy?
Watson's not gonna play.
Oh,
What? The dagger. All right. I'm still gonna donate $250 to Fertile Ground Ranch.
Hey,
that actually kind of. I don't know what to think about that. Anyways, what's everybody doing? Hi, Carly.
Howdy.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
All right, let's move on here. Let's say, all right, we hit the actives, inactives. The Jalen Johnson news, I think, is huge. Jordan might have a big game. The wind, I think, is supposed to be somewhere around 7 miles an hour. It's going to be partly cloudy skies, if I understood correctly. So, I think Jordan is kind of poised for a big game. You've got Luke Musgrave back to help fill in there at the tight end position. You can lean on 12 a little bit. I'd like to see him stay in 11 most of the day and just have a heavy rotation. I'm going to try to find that comment you were talking about, Carly. What's the time stamp on that comment there?
3:12 p.m. 3:12 p.m. It was just about 4 back. It was really recent.
Tim Reese got it. Bang. All right. Tim Reese says Musgrave will have to be on a limited count, don't you think? Carly, you wanted to kind of hit on that. Did you have something to add, or did you want us to answer that, Carly?
Well, so this is just coming from the medical standpoint because that's where my field's in. Obviously, I know nothing other than what everyone else knows about a lacerated kidney, but the way that those usually heal, since he didn't need surgery, but it just takes time, if they're letting him play at all, then that means he doesn't have blood in his urine. He's like everything else looks good. And so it's not like a muscular issue where playing would aggravate it. It's either lacerated or it's not, or bruised still, and if it would still be bruised, then he wouldn't be playing at all. So my thought is that unless it's a deconditioning, maybe, but generally once you're healed and you're good to go, those kind of things don't end up on a snap count, from my understanding of it anyway.
Got it. Yeah. And I think what everyone's kind of concerned about, thank you for that medical knowledge there. You're not going to get that on this show normally. I promise you that. But when it comes from, the limited basis X's and O's, on the field, he might have to knock the rust off a bit, right? And that's why I'm leaning towards let's let Tucker start and mix in Musgrave rather than just throw Musgrave out there. You know what I mean? I don't think the kidney is going to play that big of a role, but as far as incorporating him into the game plan, that might be a little bit of an issue. It would be awesome, too, to see him go out there and just absolutely ball out as well, which we've mentioned. They both have an opportunity, right, to pass up Bubba Franks. With that, what was it? It was receiving yards, right? One needed 40. Musgrave needed 40, and Tucker Kraft needed, what was it, Tim? Do you remember? Was it not 22?
I think it was the other way around.
Was it? Okay. Musgrave needed.
Oh, hey, Clayton. Sorry, we got a troll in here that just needs to go.
Yeah, kick Mario out real quick.
Oh yeah, he's got way too much time on his hands, don't he?
Although he's making our comments really rack up, so I don't know. Maybe leave
I mean, we actually do appreciate that, to be honest with you. So let's see what happens here. I think that worked. Hopefully we didn't accidentally kick anybody else out. But Mario, buddy, it was we appreciate you swinging through, man. If you can still hear us, I'm sure you can't, but if you could, hit that like on the way out.
Roadhouse.
Bye, Fib. See you later.
See ya, bub. See you, bub.
Hey, Jacob, I got to explain to Clayton what a fib was today. It was awesome. Made my whole day.
What a fib was?
Yeah.
You know what a fib is?
Yeah.
No, never heard of it, man. He explained it. I was like, really? Okay.
Like a little lie, like that kind of a thing.
That's what I thought, Carly. That's what I thought. But evidently, no, it's not. So, do you want to expound upon it, Tim? But keep it PG-13 here.
There's no way to do that. So,
okay.
The Wisconsin listeners all know what a fib is.
All right, there you go. Those of you at a distance, you're going to have to go to Wisconsin and ask someone there in state, okay? It's the only way you're getting the information. We're not going to do it here. So, anyway, he brought it up because it was Matt Ramage, right? Matt Ramage kind of walking around Lambeau. Let me see if I can get a screenshot of that. Actually, I think it is worth it, to be honest with you.
I know Jacob's cracking up. He had to have seen that already.
Did you see it, Jacob?
I just don't expect, I'm trying not to watch the chat. I'm trying to be good. And then I got Tim coming in doing stuff. Come on, Tim. Keep it professional.
What's wrong with you,
Jeepers
Tim?
Creepers, guys. There's a lady here.
Yeah. Exactly. Here we go. All right. Here is Matt Ramage at the game tailgating. He's got his own security, and the FIB agents are with him. All right.
FIB
and
patrol.
That's
protect Matt Ramage at all costs.
Look at my man walking through. Look at the necklace there. He literally looks like it's like DJ Khaled or something, doesn't it? Like kind of chilling, walking through. You love to see it. I love how they all look exactly the same to me. They literally look like triplets. Like Tim said, look like ZZ Top rolling through there, doesn't it? Anyway, I thought that was cool. Appreciate you pointing that out. We've already got this thing off the rails here. That's how we roll, though. But, yeah, as far as a limited count for Musgrave, I think it's going to be more along the lines of knocking the rust off, right? That's going to be the big thing for me. Now, Paul Brittle tweeted this out, said the Packers will have Musgrave and Kraft opening up the playbook for LaFleur and their abilities to impact the pass game in different ways as blockers. You'll see a little bit different flavor when we are in 12 personnel was the famous quote. So the thing that worries me about this a little bit, I wouldn't say worries, but we got to be really, really aware of it. If I can find it again, when we pulled up the Bears defensive identity, they're playing pretty good in their base. As far as their base, they're fourth in EPA, and their nickel, they're 14th. So I wouldn't push it too much. Now, if that quote that Paul Brittle just had actually came from the coach, maybe that's a little gamesmanship. Like, yeah, we're going to pound y'all with some 12 personnel and then come out in 11 the majority of the game. That would be kind of cool. But, yeah, I'm interested to see how that all plays out for sure. And Musgrave, man, he was really starting to turn heads early on. You get those two together, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Jacob, you got anything you want to hit on before we move on to the next topic here? I know you kind of jumped in late. Is there anything that's on your mind, on the forefront of your mind? Sometimes I wait till the end of the show to do that, and I feel like you feel rushed at the end. What do you got on this game, man? What sticks out to you the most?
I mean, the biggest thing would be, I guess, the injuries. I thought about the fact that not having Christian Watson, obviously for me, is personally horrible, but for the team, I don't want to say that it's not an impact, but we got a guy like Bo Melton that can still stretch that field, dude. That's a 4-3 guy. He can stretch that field. Now you add in that also component that we just talked about of having that dual threat tight end, an actual dual threat tight end. This isn't the first week, second week, third week where these guys like Jake Shavink just said Musgrave didn't have his legs under him. Tucker Kraft looked like he didn't even know how to turn around, catch a ball, and then walk forward. We're got guys now that are they're getting really really good at being a fluid tight end and both in the passing game and in the blocking game. So I just think it's gonna be really cool to see like what Matt LaFleur, imagine all the stuff he's been doing with like Ben Sims at tight end and guys like that. What if we have two capable actual home run threats at tight end? And then the 5 or 6, 7, however, Grant DeBose. If we see a Grant DeBose sighting tonight, I'm gonna be a happy man. So I'm not, other than the financial detriment to me, I'm not mad about Watson not playing. I want him to stay healthy because let's say if we do make a little bit of a run here in the playoffs, that dude is going to be much more valuable in the games that matter because I shouldn't say the games that matter, the games that are, do or die kind of thing. And granted, like Tim's talked about, this has basically been playoff football now for the last 3 weeks. So,
yeah. One of the things that, as you were talking there, and like Jake, you pointed out, Jake Shavink say, Musgrave just got to get the legs under him, keep balance, and he'll be all right. I'm thinking, okay, these trip sets, forget 12 for a minute. Let's talk about trip. I mean, you could go 12 and go trips, but doing a 3x1 set and attacking a zone heavy defense, which we all know the Bears are. I know smash concept is really coming to mind. Smash and then slot cross with the corner, with a Y corner slot cross really kind of piques my interest. Trying to get these guys to, maybe get them to commit to their zone at that 5 to 7 yard range. And then opening things up on a corner route with the Y, the tight end, whether it's Musgrave or Kraft. I'm not going to be surprised if we hit a home run on a corner route today. I don't know why. Just keep that in mind, whether it's a smash concept or it's, like I said, the slot cross with the Y corner. That's the thing that keeps popping out in my mind. Watching the tape, watching the Bears is like, man, if we throw in a little deep Y corner there, really sell the seam, and open that thing up on a corner route with 2 underneath targets, I think we might have us something there. I think we might be cooking with Crisco. So I'm excited to see how that all plays out. What's that?
Is Grant not elevated?
Grant DuBose?
No.
Who?
We don't get to see
He's inactive today.
Yeah, he's inactive. Yeah. I didn't know if that was a question or not. I thought you were saying it. Huh? Gotcha.
So no Brenton Kotz, no Watson, and no DuBose. Okay, cool. My day's great. I'm having a good day.
Jake K in the chat said, keep hearing about how the Bears defense has improved, but what about their offense? So what I did, I seen this. This is the way you want to kind of comment too, guys. If you'll comment before the show starts, it gives me a little bit of time to grab some information to answer these questions for you guys. So I pull up the Bears PFF, and again, Jake, thank you for the comment. He's asking about the offense. Has it really improved? I know some people suggest it hasn't improved, but if you look here, guys, according to PFF, and again, PFF isn't the tell-all end all, right? But when you look at it, starting in week 11, actually, let's go back to week 10. When you look at their offensive grades, 66.1, 68.1, 65.7, 68.1, pretty standard, right? In week 15, they dipped down to 49.4, but in the last 2 weeks, 73.8, 73.2. What did they do well? The running game in week 16, 85.7. The run blocking was 79.0, so they were solid in the running game. In week 17, they pretty much did everything across the board good on offense. Again, the offensive grade was 73.2. You had a passing grade of 76.7, pass block 73.2, receiving grade 71.8, running grade 73.5, and then the run blocking dipped a little bit last week. You can kind of see there, reading the tea leaves, they were really keying in on the passing game there against the Falcons. Of course, they won that game 37-17. The previous game, they won 27-16. They've won 4 of their last 5 now. So definitely playing their best ball of the year. So when it comes to the offense, to answer your question, Jake, I would say they have improved, albeit, they had a 2-game stretch where back in week 4 and week 5, 79.1 offensive grade, 73.7 offensive grade. And you see they hit, really a belly there before they got things back on track in week 17. Hopefully that answers your question, just to kind of give you an idea of what they're doing well. Got to come out and stop the run. It should be the same exact thing. I can't remember who said it. I can't remember which defender said this after week 1, Tim. Maybe you remember. But one of the Packers defenders said, the goal was to make him play quarterback, right? That was the goal coming in. I'm trying to remember who it was. It might have been Keyshawn Nixon. Might have been Rasul Douglas too, which moment of silence for Rasul Douglas. But anyway.
Also a Pro Bowl snub, if I'm not mistaken.
Who was?
Rasul.
Is he really?
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl is such a joke, dude.
I know, right?
It's turned into such a joke, man. I don't know what it literally is just the fans vote, right? It's whoever can.
Is it? Yeah, it's fans and I thought the writers too, right?
Is it the writers too?
I'm not sure. Don't quote me.
It sure seems like a popularity contest for sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
As far as what we just covered with the Bears, let's go around the horn with that. What do you think is going to be the key to winning this game as far as stopping their offense? Since Jake K asked about the offense there, Tim.
Really, we have to put an emphasis on the run, regardless of what our overall approach is. We know we're bend, don't break. We understand that we have issues with gap discipline and, maintaining our edge sometimes. But, again, I always say days like this is not about reputation. Statistics do not win you ball games. Any given Sunday applies. Today is any given Sunday. Everything's on the line. So all that stuff is different today. I'm fully expecting our boys up front to get the job done in the trenches. And I think that's where it's going to come from. It starts in the trenches. We say this all the time. I think it really rings true today from this perspective, because we know their threat to run at multiple positions in this offense. It's not just their running back, not just their quarterback. So while that's being said, I also believe that we can't get caught sleeping here if they decide to come out slinging it. So it's going to be, again, a team win today here. So, but I think it starts up front with our boys, Kenny and TJ up front there, getting it done in the trenches. And hopefully we play well enough against the run. We always talk about stop the run. We're not going to sell out against the run. That's not going to happen. But if we can just play discipline and 11 guys doing their job at the same time, I think we'll be all right. But that is a key defensively for us, is because I don't see us getting lit up over the top by Justin Fields by any means. But we have got to account for their run. They're a running football team. We know this. The whole world knows this. They know that we know this. It's kind of like on the flip side where, they have a good run defense. My attitude is, well, let's run the ball right at them and let's make them earn it today. The same thing applies for us defensively too. We're not going to let their reputation precede them into, running all over us. We got to make them earn it today. So I believe it gets won and lost in the trenches today for this Packers defense.
Yeah. Carly, what do you think? What's going to be the key to stopping their offensive attack? How are you seeing this?
I was thinking of with Fields and his mobility, he's a big boy. Like, he can drag people over the field. And so I really hope the defense just has their technique just right on, like wrapping up, not letting themselves get dragged around, going for it hard. I hope we can get some sacks, because I know that's hard to do with Fields, and really get him feeling a little bit off kilter. And then I'm not sure what the terminology is, as you guys know, I'm still learning all that stuff, but like, if there's a way to make him like not see his options and like guard not the middle of the field, as in like, yeah, sorry, I feel dumb. Like,
No,
just take away, not let him stretch it out, so that we can predict where he's going to be throwing the ball and try to make him feel like he has no choices, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. You can play overly aggressive there. You could play a little cover 2 look and put multiple bodies underneath. That would force him to take shots down the field. I personally like cover 3, and I like it out of spinner. The problem with playing spinner, coming out of shell and spinning into, putting your safety into the box, is it's going to leave you a little bit vulnerable to the run. We may play man coverage. I wouldn't like to see it, because it's going to make you very vulnerable to the scramble. Right. I know last week we mixed in a lot of different looks last week against Jaron Hall, but it's Jaron Hall. You're doing that, that little green spy with Quay Walker in the middle. That could be an option. But yeah, as far as I say, don't give him any information pre-snap to process. Make it look exactly the same. Let's just come out with middle field closed and make him think he's got to attack the perimeter all day long. That's the way I see it. Keep everything in front of you, make him nickel and dime it, and he's going to make a mistake. He's not a good quarterback. I shouldn't say good. He's not a very good quarterback. I think he is a good quarterback. I don't think he is top 10. I don't think he's top 15 as a passer. But if you limit his ability to scramble, you're going to make him play quarterback just like we did week 1. I think it could be huge. And I just want Van Ness to be on him all day long when he is in the game, because watching him run him down, it was so cool seeing Justin Fields get off the ground. Like, how in the heck did he catch me? So Jacob, what do you think, man? What's going to be the keys to stopping this offense?
Man, first off, there's a track race going on in Detroit right now. Minnesota and Detroit are just going back to back, throwing dimes right there. But to me, it's an early start. It's kind of a combination of what you guys just talked about, everything together. The Packers need to come out fast and strong. If they put up 10, 14 points in the first quarter, I don't see the Bears having the offensive skill set or the scheme or anything to be able to combat that. Like, if we jump up 2 or 3 scores right away out the bat, they just don't have the offense to build. This is a grinded out type offense. This is a old school 1950s, 60s style, run it down their throat, place hard defense. I want us to go out there, and I want us to be, what's the word? Dazzling. I want us to literally like spark this as our launch off into, I said dazzling. I want it to be shimmery, glittery. I want it to be like, I want it to be I hate the showboating stuff. I want Jair to go out there. I want him to be talking a lot of smack. I want him to be, backing it up. I want Bo Melton. I want guys that I've even. Also, one thing that I did see real quick, I saw a little clip about, they were saying about like randomly, the Packers don't have leaders on the offense. They have such a young team. There was a clip where Romeo Dobbs was, I believe, Zach Tom was getting into it with somebody from a different team. I don't remember what team it was, but Romeo Dobbs, it shows him grab Zach Tom by the inside of his shoulder pads, pull him to his face, tell him, knock it off. And Tom looked at him and he was like shook it off. Like he almost realized, and Dobbs looked at him and said, knock that stuff, literally waved his finger at him. came back to the huddle, and I've seen another couple things where Romeo Dobbs, like, and Christian Watson waiting for Jaden Reed to come back into the locker room. It seems like some of these second-year guys, these third-year guys have really actually taken in that role. I need those guys to stand up today to really put their foot in the ground and be like, this is what we play for. We're at Lambeau Field. We're playing the freaking Bears. We're going to the playoffs if we win. Please have some fire underneath your butts today. If we come out and we poop a dud, I'm going to lose my mind, because there's no reason in the world that this team should not be absolutely on fire. I mean, I'm talking on fire. Anyway,
I know exactly what you mean. Inspired football. We need this team to play inspired football today. And, confidence and cockiness, there's a very fine line between the two. And I want to see our guys confident, but I don't want to see these young players getting caught up in that jaw-jacking, trash-talking nonsense. We've got to keep our head in the game, because making stupid mistakes, shooting ourselves in the foot with personal fouls and that kind of nonsense, that'll kill you real quick in a game like this. So we got to be all business, and remember whose house it is. It's our house. They're guests in our house, and we're going to send them home with that L, like we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It was 1 year ago this week, right, Jacob? That's how we lost to Detroit last year. You guys remember Quay Walker, his little mishap? You got to keep your head right. What was you going to say, Jacob?
I was just going to say Doug was right. It was Dobbs and Watson greeting Bo Melton coming off the field, and they were both so happy for him. Like, it was just, I'm telling you, there's leadership on this team. It's just, it may not be the type that we're quote unquote used to from being just this old vet kind of guy, but I think there's a lot of younger guys. Like we talked about it on another podcast. That clip, I'll never forget it, of Don Wick coming off the side after he dropped the pass, and Aaron Jones grabbing his face mask, putting him up, saying like, don't ever put your head down, dusting him off, and then they walked off. I was like, dude, that's cool. That's like so cool.
I saw that too, Jacob. I saw that. I was like, that is my team. That is the way to do it, boys. It was awesome.
That right there made me be like, sign Jones for another 4 years. I don't care.
Ian in the chat says Sam Laporta injury is a huge loss. Was it worth playing those starters? ? I just went and looked at it. It looks bad. They're saying like he was ruled out really, really quickly, and the way he reacted on the turf was just like devastated. So it's probably a pretty significant knee injury, and I don't care. It's a division rival. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. It sucks for a young player. He's a lot of fun to watch, but just shows you, man, you can have the best season ever, but coming down the stretch, what matters is what happens right now. You can be healthy all year long and have injuries pop up in week 18, have a great season, and then hit the playoffs and everything fall apart on you there for sure. Let's see. I'm going to get to the super chats here in just a second. Tim Reese in the chat said, do we defer or take the ball to start? There was someone else that asked this too. I think it was Jake K asked the same thing. Let's go around the horn with that. Tim, we taking the ball, or we want to play defense and defer to the second half?
I'm going back to my old school, like I always do. I'm deferring. I want to put the defense out there. Let's 3 and out them, get the ball back, and then we don't even think about it anymore. I really want to see this defense get going. Our defense is going to be the X factor in this game. Period. Point blank. We put up another 7 to 10 point type of game. That's what I'm talking about. Let's be +1, +2 here. The defense is the X factor. So my vote is to defer for this week.
Yeah. There you go. Bodie Gatling, thank you for the super chat, said, why does no one consider Watson's extremely high Wonderlic score? Why don't they decide to take advantage of his intellect, as it must mean something? As I'm assuming you're talking about Christian Watson. When it comes to Christian Watson, like how can you maximize that, right? The only thing you can do is throw choice routes in. And Matt LaFleur, Coach LaFleur, has talked about the flyer position, the F receiver in his offense. They've got to know how to run choice routes, right? So he played a lot of flyer last year. That's how he blew up. That's how you got the touchdown in Chicago with the reverse, the famous picture where he jumps 17 feet in the air with his arms out and then realized, I don't know what to do now, and just kind of to a ball in midair. But you've seen him with a lot of quick motion, stuff like that. I would think that's the best way that you could take advantage of it there, Bodie, which, by the way, it's got to be a coolest name on YouTube, Bodie Gatling. That just sounds like a player, don't it, Jacob? That's somebody you went to high school with, ain't it?
Probably someone you went to high school with.
No, it would say Jarvis or Jethro if I went to high school with them. All right, but Bodie, thank you so much. We appreciate the super chat. Mike Hebring with the super chat says 0-2 Lambeau against NFC North must end today. Preach it, Mike. Preach it. Got to protect Lambeau, man. And look, again, here recently, the cold weather's kind of been like, Aaron hasn't played as well in the cold weather, in my opinion. That's at least that's how I remember it, especially in the playoffs. So it's like, okay, we got a young whippersnapper at quarterback now. I just want to see him come out and ball out in this chilly weather. Although it looks like the weather's going to be pretty decent considering all things considering. If you turn on the New England game, you'll go, yeah, our weather's just fine in Green Bay. My gosh, it's like light out up there. But, yeah, it's going to be huge, man, especially to end the season here, whether you make the playoffs or not. Obviously, you win, you're in. You don't want to lose the last game of the season against a division rival at Lambeau and take that into next year like, dang, do we really have a home field advantage? Because there was, 2 years in a row we had home playoff games, and just couldn't pull it out. And the defense stepped up in those games, which is just absolutely wild. But, yeah, we'll see how it plays out, though, Mike. Appreciate the super chat, buddy. I know Jen's in the house. She said this place is rocking already. If you guys didn't see, she put a PTA sign together, which is really cool. So glad you got to make it to the game there, Jen.
Awesome.
You stay warm and enjoy it for sure. Tim Reese said, we got Melton. Bo Melton's becoming a fan favorite. This is Jeff Janis 2.0, I'm telling you right now. Carly, were you I'm sure you've been a fan your whole life, but do you remember Jeff Janis when he played? No. Jeff Janis was like this. I'm sure you remember it, don't you, Jacob?
Oh, of course. I mean,
Jeff Janis was like he could do no wrong in the fans' eyes, none whatsoever.
Hey, he did catch a couple long balls, okay, and game.
I thought he played good. I'm just saying, man. People made it sound like he was them Terrell Owens out there. I'm like, come on, guys, this is Jeff Janis. Like he's good. I got you. There's just something about Packer fans and wide receivers that they absolutely fall in love with. Jeff Aberderis was the same way.
Man. It gives us hope. Like Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean. Everybody's losing their mind over. They're like, we finally got another Jason.
Have you ever seen that Shane Gillis skit where he talks about how white corners? He's like, that's so preposterous. How people used to think that was a thing. It's like there's two of them. They won't mate. They're at the Cincinnati Zoo. They won't reproduce.
So true. Dakota in the chat says, not Watson, at least Musgrave and Kraft are playing together, but that news makes me sad. It makes us all sad for sure, Dakota. Wanted to see this offense at full strength for sure. Jake Shavink says, yes, 2 slot cross, please, man. Jake, they have burned it up this year. That's hands down the passing concept, the route combination that Matt LaFleur has called more than any other. And they've done it out of switch looks. They've done it a number of different ways. But to me, I get excited over slot cross, but going with a trip set or a tray look and having that Y corner opposite side of the slot cross flow, whoo, I'm telling you, man, if we hit on a deep corner route to the tight end today, y'all all have got to go. Clayton said it because it just feels like it's completely charged up right now and ready to go. Let's see here. Chet in the chat says, reflection, how fun is it to play a meaningful game week 18 when most didn't think this young squad would be here? It's funny, Chet, because everyone picked them to finish dead last in the North. And it was the rain is finally over, right? Next thing you know, our boy Kyle Brandt is on Good Morning Football pleading with Justin Fields to burn Lambeau to the ground, right? You can just tell they're like, this did not go the way we expected. Someone else, too, they used some bad language on Twitter the other day, but I can't remember. They responded to a tweet I put up about Jordan Love, and it basically just said, GD, they've done it again. And he was a Bears fan. He was so mad, man, so mad. I was like, God, your tears are wonderful. Jake Shavink says, early down success, get to the point where LVN, Gary Preston, Kenny White can tee off. Yes. If you allow Chicago to play with a lead, you're playing with fire. Because everything about that, LVM, good run defender, but also I feel like you got him for the pass rush, let's be honest. Gary, good pass rusher. Preston, good pass rusher. Kenny, good pass rusher. Devontae Wyatt, good pass rusher, right? If you looked at all those and said, who's the best run defender, I'd probably say it's Preston. Other than that, everyone else is suspect, right? So you got to play from ahead. You got to, for sure. I'm going to give a shout-out to Fractal of God, becoming a member of the PTA posse. Good to see you in here, buddy. Appreciate you jumping on board. We'll make sure that we enter you into the contest to win autographed memorabilia moving forward. Today, we're going to be giving away a David Bakhtiari autographed home Beckett style, the green home jersey. We'll be giving that away during the post-game show. So we've already got the names all on the wheel. Everything's ready to roll. I'm excited.
That's so appropriate, Clayton, because Bach is back, right? He's back in the fold.
You like that segue, Tim?
Yeah.
Boom. This is cool. This was on IG. David Bakhtiari put this on Instagram and said, "Good to be around the fellas again." Let me drop this ticker down so I don't miss it here. I apologize, gang. Says, "Good to be around the fellas again. Miss these moments. I'm grateful for the steps, literally, I've been able to take one day at a time. Let's take care of business today and punch our ticket to the playoffs. Go Pack, go." So he's back with the team. You see the sleeve on the leg there. That knee has seen some knobs, Jacob, Carly. Did you say you're in the medical field, Carly? Did I understand you correctly, or do you have a little bit of background there?
Yeah. Yep.
It's just wild. Like from a football standpoint, from a dumb redneck football that knows nothing about medical, it's so rare that someone has that much work on their knee in a 2 to 3 year span. Do you have any kind of insight there, just from the outside looking in with a little bit of medical background? Do you look at it and go, here's what maybe happened? Because part of me was waiting for this whole thing to blow up, like Bach to go blaming the Packers and going, they botched my knee. You know what I'm saying? It's just so rare that it goes that haywire. What do you think happened there?
So, like, the orthopedic stuff is not my specialty at all, but I suspect that something didn't go right with the first surgery, not necessarily that someone messed up, or even that he trained too hard or anything, but that just something with the healing didn't work as well as it should have. Everybody responds differently to surgeries, and I don't know if he's had any other that he recovered better from, but this might just be that like scar tissue buildup can cause problems later after everything seems to be good because the body is still healing. That stuff in there takes so long to heal. And so, I obviously I don't really know specifically, but I just think it's something maybe to do with him and how the first surgeries went.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, the swelling, the fluid on the knee is what was so strange.
Mm-hmm.
But Jacob, when we look at this IG here, someone had tweeted at Bach earlier in the year, or no, they responded to one of his tweets and said, "Man, we hope you come back. Are you planning on coming back next year?" Something along those lines. And Bach responded with, "Yep, that's the plan." And I think he put like a cheese emoji or something. So, I'm of the opinion, I think they'll give him an opportunity to restructure that deal. And still, you can literally save $8 million and still have him be the highest paid left tackle in the game next year and shave $8 million off the cap. What do you think, Jacob? Do you think we've seen the last of Bach in Green Bay, or do you think he'll be back as a Packer next year?
Oh man,
put you on the spot there, didn't a big dog?
Yeah, I mean, I love him so much. I love everything about him, his personality, his beer chugging ability, just the funny stuff he posts on Instagram. I know that dude is a conspiracy corner Jacob fan.
Oh, you know it.
He's awesome like that. That being said, man, I'm looking at this as a general manager, as the GM, and I'm like, I just don't know if I can throw more eggs in that basket. That is a proven, as far as like the NFL, it's not what you've done for me, it's what you're doing for me lately kind of league, right? And it's to me, he's been a very big liability. I don't even understand how our offensive line is any sort of semblance of decent without him. And we've actually been patching together quite well. I don't know. My heart tells me that I want to keep him. My head tells me we got to let him go. Got it.
I think that's a very fair statement. I do. Tim, what do you think? Mike Hebring says, I think 69 is gone. What do you think, Tim? You think Bach's done in Green Bay, or do you think he'll be back next year?
I'm on the fence. I haven't, like, it's tough. It really is, because like you said, keeping him, we can still save some money on the cap. Letting him go, I got to believe this is one of those time will tell things. If David Bakhtiari feels like he can play another year of football and feels like he can be as close to full strength once again that we've seen before, then I think you got to let the guy come back. Maybe it's just the heart part of me, the emotional side, but it's like, man, I'd love to see some of these guys retire Packers, man. Aaron Jones, Bakhtiari, we're not going to get, 12's not going to retire a Packer, but like, this is one of those things where you can say what you want. We tend to get mad at these players personally because they're hurt. And it's like, this guy's hurt because he gave his life to this game and to this team. So, I believe he's earned a chance to play again. maybe more of the negative-minded fans in the fan base probably disagree with me, and that's okay. I do agree with Jacob's statement 100% that despite losing him, we have found a way to piece things together there on the left side, and we've really protected Jordan's back this year, kind of by committee at times, throwing everything we can out there. I think guys on that offensive line are playing inspired football, kind of vicariously for Bakhtiari here. And, that's why when we see things like this today, it just brings me joy, man, because that's a boost to that locker room, man, having Bach in there and, just being a, kind of an emotional leader for this young offensive line. So I'm on the fence, guys. I don't know how to answer that. I don't want to speculate. I'm not so sure.
You're going to speculate, Tim.
I can't just say that. I can't just say, oh, he's done. I something's telling me not to say that, so I'm not gonna. But then again, I can't just say he's coming back. I can't say that either. So I can tell you what I'd like to happen. I'd like to see him play one more year. I would.
Yeah, there's two parts to it for sure. There's the health aspect. Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be 100%? If he's not going to be 100%, there's no chance he's coming back, in my opinion. I don't think Goody, like what Jacob said, I don't think Goody's going to chew that backer twice. Now, when it comes to the money side, is he willing to try to shave some of that money off? Like we said, you can cut him outright and free up $20 million. And then now the question for him becomes, okay, do I want to pack my family up and move them across the country? Or do I want to take, let's say, $8 million less and let's kind of split the difference. Let's convert the base salary and the roster bonus into a signing bonus. I'll get a check cut to me right here. Overall, I'm making a little bit less money, but I'm still going to be able to stay in Green Bay and still be, like I said, one of, if not the highest cap hits as a left tackle across the league. I do know this. We got some breaking news just now. Aaron Jones, Kenny Clark, and Eric Wilson are all today's captains. So that's cool. Again, Aaron Jones, Kenny Clark. Well, Jair's what do they call it, an alternate, just like the Pro Bowl. He's sitting there, he's waiting in the wings in case somebody has to run to the restroom or something. He can fill in for him. But
wait, Kenny Clark, Jones, and who else?
Kenny Clark, Aaron Jones, and Eric Wilson, are the captains. So I like that captain set too. Anytime Jonesy's the captain, Kenny Clark too. Kenny Clark's one of those quiet leaders. I love that dude. So excited to see them out there as tackles. As captains. I want to ask you about this, Carly, because I seen you comment to it. Dan says makes sense to sit Watson for a cold weather game coming off a hamstring injury. Let him play next week in Detroit or in Dallas where it's warmer. The cold weather definitely playing a huge role in this hammy. I seen you kind of respond to that. You agree with what Dan's saying there about Christian?
Well, yeah, but I also just really like what he said. Just let him play next week in Detroit or Dallas. We're getting the playoffs. We're doing it. That's the way to think.
It. Yeah, that's right. You very seldom get what you deserve, but you almost always get what you expect. Write that one down, guys. Sounds silly, but I'm just telling you, it's true. Let's see what else we got here before we wrap this big bear up. We hit on Bach. We're good to go there. I was trying to get us a little bit of footage. I know we've seen our boy Jaden Reed out there signing autographs. It's going to be exciting to get him back. I mean, essentially, you've got Dontavian Wicks, Jaden Reed, right? They're both active. You're going to see a good, healthy dose of them. You got Musgrave back with Tucker Kraft, obviously. Romeo Dobbs is just going to be steady. You talk about someone who stayed healthy too, man. That's huge. Availability and accountability. I think Romeo Dobbs is A+ in both of those. Now, is he a true number one? I personally don't think he is. But the locker room presence, the stuff that Jacob pointed out, and how just him being a leader on the field, I think it's absolutely huge. Let's go around the horn one more time. We're at the 48-minute mark. If you guys would do us a favor, hit that like button so other Packer fans can find this channel. Just by taking a split second, hitting that like button, it boosts the algorithm. And again, it'll put this channel up in front of a lot more Packer fans, and we can get a lot more people in here and keep this train rolling along, man. Absolutely love what we've created this year. It's been a blast linking up with all you guys and gals for sure. Doug here in the chat before we go around says, by the way, Clayton's WWE video of Musgrave and Kraft was fire. I caught a little heat from that. It seems like every time I tweet something out, someone else has thought of it too, and I get blamed for stealing their content. It wasn't the same exact video, but evidently I literally went to Twitter and searched Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, clicked media, and scrolled through every media image to make sure no one tweeted this same thing out, and they didn't. As soon as I tweeted out a video of Kane and The Undertaker walking down the ramp together and said, "This is Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft and 12 personnel tomorrow," someone tagged me and said, "You stole my tweet." I'm like, Jesus, I can't keep doing this, guys. Like, I don't have time to make sure that someone else didn't say something similar to what I said. Twitter's a funny place. But Tim, that's why Tim loves Twitter. Tim, let's go around the horn once here, buddy. What do you think, man? How you seeing it? Final thoughts?
Pack by 100, man. Go Pack. Bears still suck. They always have, always will. We're getting it done today. We look forward, not backwards. I'm tired of the whole, nobody's scared to come to Lambeau, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. We're getting the dub. All that stuff is over with today. We're punching our ticket, like Bach said. We're punching our ticket to the playoffs. We're going to win this game as a team. It's going to be by committee. Real quick, we were talking about the, number one receiver versus, who's the number one. I'm so glad we don't have one of those. We don't need one of those. We got enough targets. Jay Money's going to spread that ball around today. We're going to be effective in our run game today. That's right. I said it. Aaron Jones going to get his touches. We're going to be effective on the ground and have enough of a run game to keep that Bears defense on their toes and set up our play actions and our corner route shots. Woo! And Pac's going to get it done. I'm not doing score predictions because it's irrelevant. The only thing that matters is the dub when the clock hits 0. And I'm excited, man. Really excited for this young team to punch their ticket to the playoffs, guys. This is it right here. It's going to happen today. Think positive, be positive. Let's act like champions. Let's be like champions. Let's win like champions. Let's have that mindset, guys. And I'm excited for this team. There's not a doubt in my mind. We're going to get it done today.
The Bears still suck.
There you go. Carly, what you got? Final thoughts?
I want to see those boys go out there and be like, play hot, but be ice cold to the Bears. Like silent treatment, just get their energy, just know that they own it and have some fun.
There you go. Got to protect Lambeau today. Got to. I want to see this. What I want to see is this defense come out and just play with their hair on fire.
Yep.
I want them to have another statement game. It's everyone, including some Packer fans, are sitting back waiting for this defense to be the reason that we lose. I want to see them just go out and absolutely dominate. And then I want to see Joe Barry secretly get a game ball at the end of the game again. But Jacob, what do you got, man?
All right. It's going to be 30-17. And that 7 points for the Bears is going to come in junk time. So it's basically going to be like 30-10. And Tucker Kraft's going to get a touchdown. Emmanuel Wilson, hopefully, is he going to play? Are we got Emmanuel Wilson on, Doc? All right. I think he might be a little bit of like a who's the guy? James Starks. Remember Starks? Maybe is he our new Starks? All of a sudden, he gets going right at the end of the 2010 season as catapult us into the playoffs. And all of a sudden, we're like, well, who's this guy that's going to carry us into a freaking Super Bowl victory? That being said, Rashawn Gary comes back out of hiding, and he's going to have at least 2 sacks, maybe a good pressure. Preston Smith is going to be really integral in stopping the run defense, and I think that our guy TJ Slayton is going to show up and have himself a game.
Yeah. Love it, Jacob.
Hey, I'm all about some TJ Slayton, man. Get the Gravedigger 2.0 back.
Yes,
out, right?
let's go.
Gotta get that going.
And Bo Melton. Bo Melton's going to score too.
Push that back center around today. Let's go.
We're scoring 60 points today, man. I'm all about it. Let's do this. Let's roll. We got the boys. Think they just came out of the tunnel a second ago, right? You see them suited up here. Our boys. I'm assuming y'all can see that, right? Yeah.
And Clifford's going to get a touchdown too.
Little mop up time. By the way, I pointed out
garbage time.
There you go. I pointed out to Tim earlier today, man. I said, it's crazy, dude. I was looking at the yards per attempt for quarterbacks. Guess who's leading the league? Sean Clifford at 37. He started one pass and converted it for 37 yards. I was like, let's go, Sean Clifford, man. Now we can trade Jordan Love in the offseason and just move forward with Clifford, right? That's the plan. So look at Tim over Tim. Tim's buying into it, ain't he? Let's see.
Look what Joyce just did. Look what Joyce, yeah,
Joyce is awesome.
Thanks, Joyce.
Joyce just gifted 20 Packers Total Access memberships here. So we got 20 new members of the PTA posse. Appreciate you, Joyce. You're absolutely awesome. It was pretty cool kind of connecting with Jerry Wise Corbly there yesterday, too. And I know she's been in and out of the chat all year long. We appreciate y'all supporting the stream, and y'all are too kind. It's been a great year for sure. And I'm looking forward to extending it, man. Let's get into the playoffs here. Let's keep this thing rolling. and see if we can. I don't know, man. Let's work up somebody a nice big crap burger here in the playoffs. Why don't we ruin someone's season? You know, the Bears are trying to ruin ours. Let's put them away today and then go in next week and go into somebody's house and end their season. I think that'd be the perfect way to kind of wrap up this. This, I'll tell you this: you go win one on the road. If you win today, you win one on the road next week. All bets are off.
That's right.
People are going to be going, maybe we got something here. So got to take care of business today, regardless. Can't remember who was it said it in the chat earlier. Regardless of what happens today, we're playing with the house's money, though. This has been a great season. We got the Jordan Love question answered, right? We set ourselves up for the future. We got, as far as the weapons, as far as the receivers, the tight ends, we got one of, if not the, I think what we say the third lowest cap hit in our receiver room. So everything, the stage is completely set for the next 2 to 3 years to go on a run. And for that, you got to tip your cap to Brian Gutekunst. He definitely knew what he was doing there. The only thing I can look back on this year and say, man, I don't know what you were thinking, Goody, was a Rasul Douglas trade. If we still had Sewell right now and those 4 interceptions, not that you would have them in this defense. I get it. I understand what you're saying, but it would just be I feel a lot better about this little playoff push we're trying to make. But again, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. I want to thank Tim, Carly, Jacob. You guys are awesome. Sometimes I get on here thinking I might be rolling solo, and then when we hear bloop, 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 everybody jumping in, makes my job a lot easier. So appreciate y'all hanging out with us for sure. Want to give a special shout out to the super chats. Bodie, appreciate you. Mike Hebring. And then Fractal of God, congratulations becoming a new YouTube member. He's going, man, I wish I'd have waited a little bit longer. Joyce just gave away 20 of them. And special thanks to Joyce for gifting those memberships to the listeners. So we will see you guys for the post-game show. Probably won't. You know what? I'll go ahead and put this out in podcast form too, just for the heck of it. So for those of you listening on the pod, thank you for making us a part of your day. Hopefully we're celebrating a win here in about 3 hours. Looking forward to chatting with you guys on the post-game show. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. And go, Pat, go.
The power sweep. Actually, it's the lead play in our offense.
Yes, a YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet. Get an isolation with the linebacker. Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.